Ladies and gentlemen, something is happening and it's quite surprising. The global alcohol industry has reported that there was a loss of 830 billion US dollars. And one of the reasons being given is that Gen Zs are increasingly embracing sobriety. And I'm like, really? Are Gen Zs are stopping drinking? So I asked myself, what is happening? Bringing it close to the doors of Africa. Every weekend, South African Gen Z are filling the clubs. They will go to the clubs and Monday morning they will call, boss, I get hangover when I can't come when. The same is happening in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Namibia, Gabon, and other African countries. There is still nightlife, and it is even much alive and increasing. So then I wanted to dig deeper and check. Maybe there's a category of Gen Zs, not all the Gen Zs, maybe. So yeah, after doing my research, I discovered that this trend is mainly happening in countries like United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and some parts of Western Europe. And yeah, that's understandable because studies consistently show that many young adults in these areas are now drinking less alcohol than previous generations did at the same age. So yes, there's a difference, and the difference is between the African Gen Z and the Western and European Gen Zs, because the African Gen Zs are telling a completely different story. In many African countries, alcohol consumption is still growing because the population in Africa is still growing and expanding, especially that of Nigeria as we speak. So yeah, there's an increased demand for the market of alcohol in Africa. But now let's talk about why many Gen Zs in these Western and European countries are now reducing or stopping alcohol intake. You see, ladies and gentlemen, after I dig deeper, I discovered some fascinating reasons, and I'll share it with you. You see, the first thing I have discovered is the fact that at first, these young people would like to organize themselves at one place for an event. And then drinking used to be the main goal of that social gathering or activity. Previous generations had to organize or meet up to share a particular birthday party, to share a certain achievement, prom. And you know, the main goal of these meetings was for drinking. But today, this generation doesn't need to come together at a certain place to make friends. You see, largely, friendships are now beginning on social media. People are making friends on Instagram. Conversations are happening on WhatsApp. Meetings that we could have come at a place and do are now happening online. Communities are built on Discord. Relationships have started on TikTok, Tinder, and other platforms. And another observation is that if you go to a nightclub today in these Western and European countries, half of the people are recording videos and the other half are looking on their phones. No actual communication and relationships. So you see the dynamics that is changing, now making it very difficult for them to now organize parties, organize themselves in parks, organize themselves and have some event. All these things are cutting down because of this digital world, IT world, social media world. And that is what is shifting the socialization, shifting coming together, shifting having real encounter with people. Another thing is that this generation now think about their money and how they want to succeed in future. They know that everything is expensive And before they buy something, they have to think about it twice. Because today, a night out has become very expensive. And largely due to this, you see, an unrealistic expectations, especially being tagged to men. Men are tagged to sponsor women they meet at clubs and event places. So this Gen Z consider that to be unfair to the men who could have bought the drinks and have bought some for the women are now withdrawing. Because perhaps if women won't buy drinks for themselves, then the men will withdraw. And I think women don't like drinking. And so since the men have withdrawn, now the percentage at which people consume alcohol has gone down. And I think it is kind of realistic. Yeah, the women won't buy it for themselves. The men have stopped buying for the women. And so yeah, it actually goes down. And another thing is that this generation knows that everything is being recorded because of social media. Years ago, you could get drunk, embarrass yourself, sleep it off, do anything you want, and then move on. Nothing happens. Today, one drunken mistake can become tomorrow's viral video. The internet has made people very careful and conscious of whatever that they are doing. And I believe that has changed the behavior of many young people as well. Yes, because everyone is afraid to become a topic of discussion on the internet. Tomorrow, if he gets drunk and because of the drunkenness did something that is unusual, it will be all over. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me share my own observation over here. And this is my opinion. I mean, you are free to disagree with me. You see, I don't think many Gen Zs have completely abandoned unhealthy habits of taking in too much alcohol. I think they are simply changing what they are consuming. They are actually replacing it with something, and that's what we must look at. And the more reason why I did this video. And if you ask me, I believe many of them are gradually replacing alcohol with sugar. Yes, think about that. Sugar. You see, from childhood, these people, these Gen Zs, were being introduced to sweet things. It wasn't like that with our fathers and the previous people. Now, when they are being born, they are being introduced to sweet biscuits, sweet chocolate, sweet soft drinks, sweet juices, sweet cereals. Talk of it. Every sweet thing, life, sweet bed, sweet, everything they want it sweet. So they are being built in a way that their taste buds grow up loving sweetness. And you see, alcoholic drinks, many of them are bitter. Beer is better, whiskey is better. Some of the wine, many of them are better. So what happened? They will not take it because of their taste bud from the beginning. They like the sweet things. And so yeah, they are now buying the iced coffees instead of the whiskey. They are buying bubble tea instead of vodka. They are buying highly sweetened energy drinks instead of alcohol. They are consuming flavored drinks loaded with a lot of sugar. So yeah, maybe we've become quite excited that these Gen Zs are stopping alcohol, but we should be concerned. They are replacing it with something, and we should be concerned. Because, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's alcohol, energy drinks, soft drinks, sweet coffee, or flavored beverages, there is still a concern. Another thing is the fact that the beverage companies are smart. They will still cash out. When I saw the story that they've lost dollars, I thought, well, maybe they are at loss, but they have a strategy. Many of these big companies are now investing heavily in alcohol-free beers, zero alcohol spirits, and heavily investing in sweetened drinks. They are now investing in sugar drinks, many of them. And yeah, You think that customers have stopped buying alcohol? You think that Jay-Z have stopped drinking alcohol? They will sell something else, and that's what we must look at. Yeah, because they know that Gen Zs are rejecting bitterness, so now they will happily sell sweetness, and at the end of the day they will still cash out, as I have said. And that's the most important thing to them. So yeah, here's my final input. I'm asking myself that, are we becoming healthier, or we are simply changing the flavor of our addiction? Yes, shifting or declining from alcohol, but increasing sugar intake. That's what I'm seeing now. That's what I'm observing now. And that's the conversation that I think we should be having. Because for the beverage companies, they still have to cash out. So if it's sweetness that you like compared to bitterness, then they will provide you with more sweetness and more sugar. And at the end of the day, both of them still affect your life. You move from one unhealthy lifestyle to another unhealthy lifestyle. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's think about that. And I'll end here. This is your boy Sikadwa Kofi, and that's my point of view as usual. If today is your first time of watching me, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and come back. Let us have another meaningful conversation. Until the next time, I'll say that God bless you, and it is bye-bye for now.